And welcome, one and all. My name is Jason Davis. This is Empower Volusia Common Sense, and we are coming to you from an undisclosed location hidden in an iron bunker somewhere in the highlands of West Volusia County and Florida, of course. And we are guarded by 2 rabid Pomeranians and 5 crazy cats and a little side story there on the 5 crazy cats. We had here at the old iron bunker, we got a little barn in the back, and, there's horse food out there and everything. So we've got a mama cat out there, and she, keeps the mice out of the feed and that kind of stuff. And, she's a lovable, full-grown cat, of course. Anyways, she had some babies, and she kind of went dry. And so being the good lover of all creatures, great and small, I reached in there and I grabbed the 4 little babies, and I took them out and brought them in the house, and Mama and I have been nursing them, and they have now, this was a couple months back now, so they're about 4 months old, 5 months old now, and the house has never been the same. It's everywhere I go, if I sit down for someplace for more than 30 seconds, I've got 4 cats climbing on me, loving and purring, and just thinking I'm the greatest that ever was. And, of course, they are not wrong. And I love on them all and pet everybody, and it's a lot of fur and purr. And so if you want a cat, hey, they're short-haired, they're gray and white, and all they want to do is eat and love. That's all they do. And so drop me a line, and you can drop me a line here at jasondavispodcast@gmail.com, and tell me you want a cat. I'll be more than happy to give them to you. They're free to get home, 4 males and 1 female. So if you want them, I might just post their pictures up there on the Facebook and on the website, so you can see the kittens. Anyways, so there's that kind of fun stuff that's been going on around here at the old iron bunker. Smokey, the originating crazy cat, he's tolerating them a lot. And the rabid Pomeranians, they actually cuddle up with them. So they're used to dogs and other cats. So just drop me a line. Anyways, you can probably hear us on Facebook, and we're on YouTube, and we're on Twitter, and of course at jasondavispodcast.com. And that's probably where you're listening to us here. So welcome aboard. And boy, have we ever got stuff going on here today. Yeah, today is, of course, the 27th of January, 2020, and it's about to happen, folks. It's really about to happen.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
That's right, be very afraid. Because the Schumer Schiff sham show, as Mr. Sean Hannity says, has been, well, it's starting up. And probably in about 15, 20 minutes or so. And wow, what a ridiculous thing it was. I mean, my mother always told me things, and let's just, here we go.
Mama says stupid is as stupid does.
That's right. That's what my mom always said. Stupid is as stupid does. And my mama also told me, don't tell half the truth, because it's a lie. Remember that. Don't tell half a truth, because it's still a lie. Because remember, when you are sworn into testimony in a court of law, you are told to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Not half the truth, because the rest is a lie and perjury. So, here we go. Of course, unless you've been hiding under a rock somewhere, the Schumer Schiff sham show has been going on, and they've been just pulling out little tidbits of information. It's like saying that person hit that person in the face. Oh my gosh, he should go to jail. Well, you don't have the rest of the story. He hit him in the face because he hit him in the face first, and he was just protecting himself. That's what's going on up there, is they're telling half the story, but it's only to support the allegations of Adam Schiff, Jerry Nadler, and all those guys that are, unfortunately, Val Demings is involved, and Val Demings is the representative of Orlando up there in D.C., and she has joined on to this Schumer Schiff show. And, wow, I hate to tell you this, Miss Demings, but I don't think you're going to win your next election because of that. And it really boils right down to they just want to override the election of 2016. That's all they want to do. They haven't read the Constitution because they should know in the Constitution that you have to have a crime, a United States statute crime, to convict a president of a crime. Abuse of power is so vague. I mean, he wore a yellow tie with a green shirt. Oh, my goodness. That's abuse of power. Well, here's one thing they said. He fired Yovanovitch. Ambassador Yovanovitch, he fired her. Well, wait a minute. That's not abuse of power. They say it is, but it's not. It's the duty of the president to fire any ambassador he doesn't want. And I've known a couple of people who are ambassadors, and they were relieved of their duties because they did not meet up to the standard that the current president wanted them to be. So he said, well, it's been fun, been real, but you are here relieved of your duties. You're fired. And you know what? She should wear that hat with pride. She's been fired by the best. He had a whole television series about it. You're fired. I mean, come on. The Apprentice. I mean, let's be realistic, folks. She was fired by the best. She should wear that hat with pride. Yes, she should. But now it is time. That's right. The president's team is getting ready to do their thing in about 20, 30 minutes right now. It's January 27th, 2020, and according to my clock, it's 10 minutes to 1 p.m., and they are getting ready to take the floor to defend the president.
Let's get ready to rumble!
That's right, and it's going to be a rumble. But it was really great on Saturday because Saturday the president's team got up there and they said, we can make up all these stories. We can do, say, this and that. But what we're going to do is we're just going to work on the facts. And these are the facts that the Democrats in their Schumer Sham Schiff show, Schumer Schiff Sham show, I'll try to say that again. These are the facts that they found. Yeah, these are their facts. These aren't facts brought up by the president. These are the facts of the testimony from the bunker down in the skiff in the bowels of Congress, way down there. And what they did is they had these closed-door testimonies and depositions, but they had to incorporate those into the packet. Now, here's the funny thing about the packet. It's huge. It's like 3 or 4 volumes of paper. I mean, it's got to be 1,000 pages in there. I mean, it's got 17 witnesses over hundreds and hundreds of hours of testimony down in the bunker and then up in the public venue. We've got, all these things going on, and they never afforded the Republicans a chance to call a witness or anything like that. So, I mean, it was a show. It was just it was ridiculous. But now they pushed it up forward to the Senate, the High House of Congress. There's a reason why they call it the High House, because these guys don't just jump off on a whim. And one of the points that the president's counsel brought forth was this whole impeachment scenario is not legal. And it's true. House Rule 10 says if you're going to do any kind of impeachment, articles whatsoever, and these are running rules. They have like several rules that they just say, we accept the rules as written. Okay. And that's how they operate the government. And Rule 10 says if you're going to issue subpoenas, you have to have a full vote of the House to give one of the committees or subcommittees the authority to write subpoenas. And that is enforceable by the court. What they have done is they've let Nancy Pelosi just say, she did it in late October. She said, we're going to authorize these people to write subpoenas, and, I'm telling my people to move forward with the impeachment inquiry. How ridiculous. That's not her job. Republicans were raising heck. I almost said it. They were raising a fuss, and they said, you know what? You're supposed to have a full floor vote, and she wouldn't do it. So which basically says subpoenas are illegal. They're not even subpoenas. They're just nasty requests for you to come and testify. Yeah. They need to read their own rules.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
So, with that said, there's, of course, President Trump said these aren't legal. His legal team actually said those aren't legal. And we'll take it to the court to see if they're legal and see if we have to give up executive privilege that every president since George Washington has exercised on matters of state. It's not right for them to pull in people that are in the closest circle to the president and have them testify, because what they're going to do is they're going to go on a fishing expedition and they're going to try to get information that, oh, these aren't in the articles, but we can say it's abuse of power or obstruction of Congress. That's what they're doing. That's what they're trying to do. They failed to do so. They failed. They went all the way back to the Mueller investigation, in case you haven't heard, and tried to implicate the president in the Russian investigation. And they failed to realize that Russia is not the only country in the world that's trying to interfere in our elections. The Ukraine was doing it. Yes. China's been trying to do it. Yes. Iran's been trying to do it. Afghanistan, there are people in Afghanistan that are trying to interfere in our elections. It's very difficult to interfere in an election because what they're doing is they're just doing Facebook posts and things like this. And if you're going to vote because somebody on Facebook said, oh, this is the best person, or, oh, no, Donald, this person's horrible, then you're an idiot. You need to do your own research, but regardless of that. So there's that going on. And, there's some another fun thing coming up. And I got time to kind of throw this out here, too. So I got another subject I'll throw out there now. So anyway, here we go with the Schumer Schiff Sham Show. And I was talking to a friend of mine who said, you know what? It's going to be a party. So he's got the sodas out, he's got the beer out, he's got the popcorn cooking, he's got pretzels sitting. I said, what is this, like a Super Bowl party? He goes, it's going to be better. I'm like, okay. If you'll recall, everybody, all the networks said, okay, we're not making any money on this impeachment trial. Why not? Because people aren't interested in what the Democrats have to say again and again and again on ad nausea. So what they're going to do now is, now that the president's team is coming up, and they're not going to repeat themselves 9,000 times, they're just going to pull out the data and the information that the Democrats have interviewed people and have on record of saying. So this is going to be an interesting show, and I don't think that ABC, NBC, CBS, or anybody's going to preempt the impeachment trial for soap operas. I think the soap operas might as well take a week off. Give those actors a break, because this is going to be interesting today, I think. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to see what's going on there with that. So now we come back. Let's get out of Washington, D.C. That drama is just crazy. But here we go. Let's come here to, let's get a little localer and let's listen as we come into another exciting episode of the continuing saga of As the Stomach Turns. In today's episode, Ed Kelly, the county chair of Volusia County, has, stepped down from his re-election campaign. That's right. He has stepped back from his re-election campaign. He raised all that money for his re-election, got plenty of donors, the big 5 families, and I'm sure he's got $30, $40, $50, $60,000 that he's going to put in his pocket and walk away. Oh, yeah. That's like the Democratic presidential nominees out there, the people that were running, they made millions and millions of dollars. And, I didn't get the cutoff. Well, I'm going to step out of the election. And they pocket the money, folks. Yeah, nobody ever said, I'm going to donate this money to the American Cancer Society. No, they don't do that. They say, no, we're going to suspend our campaign, which means they're not quitting. They're just suspending it. And then everybody will forget about it, and they will have all those millions of dollars, and they will go buy themselves a new house, and they will bellyache and complain and yell about how these millionaires, which they are now, are taking advantage of the system. Talk about taking advantage of a system. Wow. That's advantage. But anyways, so Mr. Ed Kelly has stepped away and suspended his campaign. And who's going to pick up the slack? None other than, we got Jeff Brower running for office. Yeah, we got Jeff Brower. Jeff Brower, I'll let you know about Jeff Brower. I know Jeff personally. I've met him. This is, I guess it could be kind of like a campaign commercial. Jeff, you owe me a couple of bucks here. Jeff Brower is a local guy. He's got a degree in farm sciences. He knows what water is. He knows what water does, and he knows how to test for aquifer and nitrogen and all this. He does this on a day-to-day basis in his business. That's what he does. The man's got a level head. He's straightforward. You say, hey, you ask him a question, he'll give you the answer. But if he doesn't understand it or know it, he'll say, you know what, I'll get back to you. He does. It's kind of a weird thing. He calls you back. He took a page out of my playbook on that. If I didn't know an answer or didn't have the answer for that question, I said, let me call you back. I'd find the answer. I'd pick up the phone, and I'd call you back. And there are lots of you people out there that know that I answered my own phone, didn't let you go to voicemail, and if you called me, I called you back. That's because your problems were important to you. And if they're important to you, they're important to me. Same thing with Jeff. If it's a bother to you or important to you, it's important to Mr. Jeff Brower. He's got his campaign slogan out, which is, I love it, it's time for Plan B, Brower. I like it. That's a good one. But I've met with Jeff on many times. I've met his children. I've met his wife. I've been out there on a campaign trail with him last run around. Supported him then because he was running for office. And I support him now. I do. I fully support Jeff Brower for the county chair. Because the other person that's running is somebody who has never met a tax she didn't like, Deb Denys. She supported your half-cent sales tax. She supports the new, she supported the fuel tax. She supports taking cars off the beach because, let me tell you, folks, now I can let you in on a little secret. Shh, don't tell nobody. I do research, and I did research when I was in office. If it was going to seal the deal to bring a major hotel chain to Volusia County to increase our revenue, to increase places for people to stay, to make everybody happy and bring a big fancy hotel here. And they said, now the Hard Rock and the Westin Inn said, we'll do this, but you got to take cars off the beach. Well, everybody was like, man, that sounds like a great... No. I said, no. How about this? You give me a time frame that you are going to pass and get your project done. Then you say they're 5-star hotels. We'll give you a break. We'll go in and we will inspect them and make sure that they are at least a 4-star rating hotel. Then we'll take the cars off the beach, knowing full well they couldn't do it. I don't ever ask questions, folks, unless I really have the answer. I already know what it is. So when the Hard Rock Cafe said, the Hard Rock Hotel said, yeah, we'll build this big, huge monster hotel right here. We'll take the sunshine away from everybody across the street. There are going to be big, huge sun blockers. Yep. And what we're going to do is we're going to do this in 18 months. I said, and I looked at them. I said, in 18 months, you're going to tell me in 18 months, you're going to clear a piece of property on the beach. You're going to put in a foundation. You're going to put water pipes in. You're going to put electrical lines in. You're going to put cable TV in. You're going to do all of this fun stuff. And I used to work in construction. I know what it's like to run electrical wire. And you're going to do all this in 18 months. I said, yes, we are. I said, and then you're going to have a 4-star hotel or a 5-star hotel. Yes. And then we'll take the cars off the beach. Yes. I said, I can agree to that. Why did I agree to that? Because I knew they couldn't do it in 18 months. I knew it. Now, if they would have said in 3 years, I would say, no, I don't think so. Same thing happened with the Westin Inn. Oh, we're going to rebuild this hotel. It'll be done in 18 months. It's like, so I got two. Here's the funny part. I got 2 hotels, major renovation on one and new construction on the other. And they're going to get them done in 18 months. Folks, I was part of the electricians team that rebuilt and rewired the Sun Glow Hotel condos over there by the Sun Glow Pier. I rewired that thing. We were there. We didn't build a new building. We didn't have to get rid of asbestos. We just remodeled the whole entire building. They took out all the walls inside, outside. They poured new flooring. They did all the tents. They did everything they needed to do up to code. And it took 38 months to do it. I mean, it was a long time. It took forever. And on my part alone, as an electrician and running television cable, it took us almost a year. That's why I agreed with it. But no, Miss Denys, Deb Denys, who is now running for the county chair, Miss Deb Denys, who's been in government way too long. She is truly a true politician. She will tell you anything you want to hear right to your face and do something totally different. What she did is when the Westin and the Hard Rock deals fell apart, then the Hard Rock Cafe went and bought where the Westin Inn is going to be. They finished up the renovation, and it took them still 2 years plus to do it. Yeah, it still took them 2+ years to renovate the old Dunes Hotel. Was it the Stardust Dunes, whatever? Now it's the Hard Rock Hotel. And as soon as they did it, they go, boom, move the cars off the beach. Deb Denys voted for it. Yep. She never met a tax that she didn't like. She did not ever meet a tax she hasn't liked. She always voted for every tax. She always voted for increases on your property tax. She's voted for, every time, she's voted for increase in your sales tax to put it on the ballot. She voted for it. She even voted for the homeless shelter, which is now a, $60-70 million disaster that nobody's in yet because it isn't going to work. That's right. So I definitely would support Jeff Brower for Volusia County Chair.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
So there you are, folks. That's all. That's what you've got today. And just remember, all I got to say is this. And I started this thing, so I'm going to say it again. And this is my key phrase here. So now just remember in November. Just remember in November who raised your taxes. Just remember in November who's creating a great economy for you. Just remember in November that when a water program came up that would help to clean the intercoastal waterway and make that water flow, just remember who voted against it, Deb Denys. Why? Because the county chair supported it. She would vote against anything that I would support. Folks, she does not have your best in light. The truth of the matter is that our best bet, our best deal right now is a local guy who's a farmer, who's got his hands and fingers working every day, somebody who knows how the people of this county actually think.
You can't handle the truth.
And yes, you can, because that's your guy, Jeff Brower, right there. So anyways, Jeff, now you get to write that check to me, right? There's a little advertising for you. Well, with that said, folks, we're going to head on out of here this today. And just remember, everything you do, Just try to do it with, I don't know, maybe a little common sense.